All right. Welcome back, everybody. It is Tuesday night, another Tuesday night. I think today is the 29th. So April is almost over. And then we are into my birthday month, May. Yay. So that explains so much, doesn't it? That I'm a bull and in a china closet most of the time. Yeah. So I found some really cool, well, the one I found one of the pouches a couple of weeks ago, Roaring Fire. Put it where you can see it. Uh, and I love this thing so much so that I have bought a backpack, which is not here yet, and this really amazingly cool. I even hate to use the term fanny pack because I don't want that to turn anybody off. This is the coolest thing since sliced bread, and I'll tell you why. Yes, it's another pouch. Okay. A little bit, I just got it in today. That's why the tag's still on it. Being in kind of a rush today, but it's a little bit bigger than the other one. But this one is like so functional, it's not even funny. Um, and one of the reasons it still has a tag on it is because I have been playing with it and I just haven't had a chance to take this off. Um, let's just do that right now. I don't know where my scissors are. But anyway, so it comes with all this stuff. So yes, it is a pouch and it opens, it's got two compartments. So and they both open like a book. I've got a little bit of stuff in here, not very much, but see, they both open like a book. Really cool bright orange interior so you can kind of see what you're doing. And as you get older, that gets more and more important. And I'm there. But on the back of this actually comes off. Or it's got these slits right here. And it's got a little thing of Velcro. I don't know if you can see that or not. A little thing of Velcro on this side and a little thing of Velcro on this side. And inside that goes this. And it goes right there. Okay. So now you have a fanny pack, sling pack, whatever you want to call it. Without the belt, you can attach this to the back of your headrest. So if your headrest is right here, these just clip around like so. And now it's on the back of your driver's seat or your passenger seat. If now I put my grandson in the back on the passenger side so that I can see him and I can get to him and all that stuff. If I didn't have him with me, I would put this on the passenger side so that I could reach over and get anything in it I needed while driving. Probably not the safest thing to do. So I've been testing it out with it behind the driver's seat, and it has come in so handy. I just Yesterday I was at a friend's house and I needed some tools, and I had two of them in here, but I needed a hammer, and I did not have a hammer on me, and I have a little bitty hammer. So the hammer, the screwdriver, the adjustable wrench, all will go in here, and that frees up this for things I need more on the daily type thing. So, okay, so it's in the back of your thing. You decide you need to carry it because you're going to need some stuff out of it. So you take it off and you just zip this. You put the belt on, and then on the side of the belt, if you noticed on this side, there's the little strip of Velcro that goes on the pouch, and then there's this bigger strip, and I'm on the wrong side, this bigger strip right here. That is for this. And it's, you slide it onto the belt, and this has got Velcro right there, the hook part. And so that keeps it like that. I'm just making all kinds of noise for you guys. I'm sorry. But anyway, that you just slip that through. Super simple. I love the modularity of this thing. You slip that through, and now that is Velcroed in place. So it would look something like that. Isn't that just too cool? So now I'm not saying this is like the perfect thing for the park because it really doesn't have enough room for like my camera and my first aid and all that good stuff that I carry to the park. But the backpack I have coming by Roaring Fire does have enough room for that. And this, I don't know if they're getting ready to change this or what they're going to do. I'm hoping they're not, but they actually put it on sale for 30 bucks. So this size pouch is 26. Did I get upside down? Of course I did. That's how I roll. This size pouch is 26, and it's a really good size. I took a bunch of stuff out of it and put in the other one. So, and stuff is falling out as we speak. Um, like I said, I haven't got it packed out back out the way I want it. So I guess this stuff got kind of thrown around, but I've just got a little bit in here now. I put like the duct tape and the tools and everything in the bigger one, and it's going to stay in my truck. So this is a good sized pouch for most people if you're not carrying tools and stuff, like major tools, right? If you're just carrying like a multi-tool or something like that, this is fine. But this size, and see, they're a little bit bigger. This size is perfect for the truck. And I like the color. It's not an army green. This has got like tan with kind of an olive drab green on it. This has, I think they're pretty close to the same color of this, the malt, what do you call it? The PAL looping. But the green is a much more of an emerald green than an army green. And so I really kind of like that. Don't have any patches on there yet, but I'll get there. I'll get there. So let's see who has jumped in here. Oh, look who made it first. Where's my little mouse? Where's my mouse? Scott made it first. Hello, gang. Good to see you, lady. Good to see you too, buddy. And Randy made it second. He's got a smile for everybody. And there's Peter. By the way, in the description, I've got a link to both of these bags. I'm not an affiliate with B&H, so I used Peter's link. So use that and Peter will get you some credit. But these are like an amazing, I'm moving things around on my desktop because I can't tell what I'm doing. This company is like a nondescript, hardly anybody has heard of them, and they actually have really well thought out stuff. So I showed you the little pouch, I think last week or the week before. If this one is cool because it's got two different sections to it. Oh, and you can take this back panel off if you don't want it. So let's say it's in the car, you want to make it into a fanny pack. It's going to be really loud. It's all Velcro on the back. So it holds it really, really secure. You saw how I had a hard time kind of taking that off. And the belt thing will go right through there. So then this is up against your body. So the back part I kind of like because it's very non, it doesn't have, the organization is in the front. Okay. So in the back, see if anything falls out here. All you have is these three stretchy, well, they're not really stretchy, just three little loops here to put bigger stuff in. And I was thinking like maybe a power bank. Um, I don't happen to have one. Yes, I do. I haven't even tried this yet. This is just me thinking, oh yeah, no. Okay, so my Anchor power bank, where did you go? My Anchor power bank is too wide, but I think I do have some that are narrower, if that's a word, more narrow. But on this other side, you just have a mesh pocket. So for keeping, little like screws and little things that might otherwise get lost in the shuffle. Let me put this on silent. You would think after all this time, but no. Okay. Um, so this part here is really just for bigger stuff or for like smaller stuff that you don't want to get, lost that won't fit. So the main hero of the bag is the front compartment because that's where all the magic happens. And as you can see, I have started putting tools in it. Started. I'm not done. But I've got my duct tape in here too. Because, in Oklahoma, we have a saying that anything can be fixed with duct tape and baling wire. Now, I don't have baling wire, but I do have my little uh, ties. They're not like zip ties, they're Velcro. But I do have some Velcro or some actual zip ties that I'm going to be putting in here. So that will be anything pretty much I could possibly need. And I'm doing a garage sale on Friday. So I'm going to take my little tool set with me because Lord knows I'll need some tools, I'm sure. I always, everywhere I go, I'm like the fix-it lady. And so I'm sure I'll have to fix something. So I am taking my big pouch. I love this thing. Um, and I'm real excited about the backpack because it's wax canvas and I'll show it to you guys next week. And if it's the same thought has gone into making that backpack, I'm going to be in hog heaven. Um, I have so many backpacks that I don't get too terribly excited anymore, but this one really sparked my interest, and the fact that it's wax canvas and I have a that little pocket organizer thing, and it's wax canvas, and I really like the feel of it. So I have a feeling that I'm gonna really like this wax canvas backpack. Look who snuck in here. Look who snuck. Did I say hi to Peter? Yes, I think I did. Hi, Peter. I think I did. Miss Evelyn snuck in here. Hello, Sly. Have a great show. Hello, ma'am. I'm so glad you came in to join us. Uh, so I was testing out a few things and I found in going through, I've been going through boxes and boxes and it's a never ending thing. Anytime you move, you should just throw everything away and start over because it's a never ending thing unpacking. And I've been unpacking and packing since July. This is almost May. Yeah. So and I say every single time I move, the next time I move, I'm throwing everything away and just starting all over, and I never do it. So I've been going through boxes and finding stuff, and today I found some memory cards, and the video quality was so good, and so I thought, well, I'll go back and use my just a regular camera. It's not as good as this. So we're on the Ozbot again. Yes. Miss Evelyn says, watching to learn a few things. Well, I'll tell you what, Miss Evelyn, you may think that you're too old for any of this G.I. Joe stuff, okay? But I have a friend in Nevada, Las Vegas, around Las Vegas, and she's 92, and she went to a walker first, and now she's permanently in a wheelchair. And when she went to the walker, old Sly had to fix her walker up. And so I put all these gizmos and gadgets on there to make her life easier. And then when she went to a wheelchair, I did the same thing. Now, the stuff that was on the walker wouldn't fit on the wheelchair, so we had to do a little engineering. But yeah, she doesn't have one of these pouches, but she does have it's a, what do you call it? Kind of a tech organizer, kind of like one of these pouches. Um, and it's on the side, and it had to be the dimensions had to be a certain size to fit on the arm part without touching the wheel. So it was kind of a challenge, but we got it. And then I put a cup holder. I managed to figure out how to put a cup holder on there for her. But you have to keep everything away from the wheels and the brakes, and so it was kind of challenging, but we got there. And she loves it because she carries her phone, her house phone, in the pouch. She has a cell phone and refuses to use it, and so she carries her house phone around with her, and it's stays in the pouch right beside her, so it's always there. And it was just I like projects like that where I get to have fun with the kind of stuff I like, but I'm helping somebody else. So yeah, so you're never too old for this stuff. Peter says, "Put me in the green room so I can hear the show. It doesn't affect your show till you add me to it. It doesn't affect your show till you decide you Oh, you are here. I'm sorry. You didn't ring a ding in. Okay, you're in the green room. I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. It didn't make a noise. Oh, it didn't make a noise because I have it on the headphones and I don't have the headphones in. So, yeah, when I bring you in, I'll put the headphones in so I can hear you. I guess I should be paying a little bit more attention to that, huh? Um, yeah, so I just figured, guys, this is just about friends getting together and chatting. And if you have something that you got that you're excited about, this is kind of the platform where we can share, right? We're all friends here. And so it's just kind of like a Tuesday night party. Miss Evelyn, I'd love to have you on. So if you can figure out, I don't know if you're on a phone or a laptop or what you're on, but I will pay more attention to who's coming in. Let me move you over here, and maybe it'll show me if somebody else comes in. I don't know. Um, Mr. Lazuka, fly. Peter says, Lewis, I see you. Lewis says, we are back. Sly, just wanted to say hi, and your wall inspires me to create. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. It's like a museum of bags that have been used before. Hello, Peter. I love you, my dear friend. Happy Easter. Yes. So, um, some of these are new, and I have not had a chance to. I usually like to put them through my paces a little bit, um, but I seem to keep grabbing the same one, and it's probably right behind me. That green and tan one. That seems to be the one I keep gravitating to over and over. So it has kind of become my park bag, the bag I take to the park. But but I'm really hopeful that this new one will become my park bag. Liz says, I'm just sad because my phone ran out of storage, 128 gigabyte. Wow. Once I clear some files, then I can play again. Thank you all for listening to me rant. I love you all. We love you too. And we would love to have you on. If somebody comes on, you're going to have to tell me because I obviously I'm not watching that thing close enough. But yeah, if you guys have Randy, you have anything you'd like to share? Randy just makes a video about it. If he gets a new toy, he just makes a video right then. But if you have anything you'd like to share, we would love to see it. And I would love to see all my friends. So anybody that wants to come in, here, we'll just bring Peter in now. It's a little early, but that's okay. Never say never, right? Let's see how we do this. Oh, I need to put these on first. And I always get these backwards, right? If you can put them on backwards, it's kind of like the SD cards. If you can put them in upside down, I will. And if you can put these on backwards, I will. It's just what I do. See, I think it's back. Is it backwards? It may be. Let's try the other one. They only go in one way, and they do say left and right on them, but it's such a, oh yeah, see? I told you I'd do it backwards the first time. It's such a little bitty L and R that you can't really read it. There we go. Lewis says, all the new stuff looks groundbreaking, but all of a sudden you look at the reviews and there's no image stabilization or anything, so it's just disappointing. Yeah, agree with that because I was looking at the new Canon. You know, I'm a Canon fangirl, and yeah, no image stabilization. So, also, the tariffs in Canada are 25% now. Wow. So now I'll never get the perfect camera, which is why Randy is right. Use what you have and be happy. That's the point. You know, Lewis, I bought my first camera like 5 years ago, my first digital camera from uh, Canada Camera or Camera Canada. I don't remember which way it was. And they go by like CC, which could be either way. So it's either Canada Camera, I think, or it could be Camera Canada. I'm not sure. But anyway, so and they have all the latest stuff. That's when I bought the 90D. I got it from Canada. But you are right. I did try placing another Temu order and they wanted $189 in tariffs. So guess who's not ordering from Temu anymore? This girl. All right, Peter, let's see where we're going to put you. We need to put you on the right, I think. We'll try you on the right. You're not there. Oh, because you need to be here. There you are.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey. So I did put you there, but I was on the wrong scene.
I have a scene just for this stuff
Yes.
because on all my other ones, it doesn't work right. Either
Mm-hmm.
I've got it screwed up one way or I have it screwed up another way.
Yes.
Can we get back to Evelyn for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so I was thinking today, and I did do it. Okay,
Okay.
and I'll tell you where the hiccup is. My guess is Evelyn has a phone, a cell phone. Okay,
Okay. I
would
don't
you
know.
agree?
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't have any idea.
would you say the chances are high she's got a cell phone?
I think whatever she's got, Scott hooked up for her.
Okay, so I'm going on the premise that most everybody's got a cell phone, like an Apple phone or what's the other
Android.
Google Android. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. So the weak part is you need to be able to text the person a link. So I went on today. What do you call it? Not live. Yeah, live, but not listed, unlisted.
Yes.
Okay. And I texted myself a link from Ecamm. Now
Okay.
there's no Ecamm in this phone.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I clicked the link and lo and behold, I went live from the phone with no knowledge of what the hell I'm doing. I pretended yeah, I pretended like I'm not you, grandma, but a grandma that doesn't know,
Right.
the
Right.
left from the right, okay? I did have to type my name Peter in, okay?
Okay.
And then I clicked the word join,
Yeah.
and then when the person that was controlling it, which was me, but don't say anything,
Right.
okay? I went live from the phone. So I think we can get Evelyn on, and that is if she's got a phone. Okay. Now, if she does not have a phone, we're back to square one. All right. But
Well, but even if she has a phone, if she's got me pulled up, she should be able to look in the description and click the link.
that might be too much for her. That's where the weak
I
thing
don't
is.
think so. I think she's pretty sharp upstairs.
Okay. I'm not trying to insult her, but let's assume that she can't do that, that
Okay.
she cannot do that. So what she needs is in her text where that eCam thing shows up when you
Yes.
text somebody, to click on it, and once she taps on it, everything else is on. And I'm in Safari in here. I don't have Chrome in here.
But
Okay,
I can't text her. Now, Scott could text her.
Scott can text her. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
so
And but she may be in her gym jams and not want to be on camera
well, that would mean you'd have to prepare. Like
because
I
it's
rushed to comb my hair before I came up. Because I was actually sleeping when you just texted me. And I'm like almost snoring, and somebody texts, and I got mad. Who's texting me? I'm sleeping. you know. Oh, it's Sly. It's her show tonight. Get
trying
up,
to help
get
you out.
get up, get up. So that's the good news. I might make a video on that to show. how um, a person that is challenged, like, I don't know how to do that, or they could say, I don't have eCam. Well,
Well, they don't have to
yeah,
have eCam.
no, that's the point. All you need is the link,
Right.
okay? So that means anybody can get on with their phone or their tablet. Now
Right.
you take it up a next step like Randy. He's at the top. He's got 12 computers and 4,500 cameras. Okay,
Right.
that's the other end of the spectrum.
Right.
By the way, Randy got a new lawnmower. It's a Toro.
Well, he apparently, let's see what Randy says. I hurt my back by lifting an 85-pound lawnmower into the
Oh,
car and taking it out of the car and box. Then I mowed the front and back. Now I'm applying heat and massage recliner. Maybe next time.
ah, poor guy.
We
Sorry,
totally,
Randy.
totally understand. Yeah, very much understand. Lewis says, I gotta figure out the way to watch reviews without feeling like I'm being punished because I don't have the latest and greatest stuff. Should I stop watching? No. Okay,
Lewis,
I
no,
tease,
Lewis. You need to stop watching and you need to go to your room
oh, be quiet.
until you get a brand spanking new camera.
Don't even listen to him. Now, I Tom Buck makes me want to buy stuff.
I
Okay.
know.
So I really have to kind of limit the stuff I watch from him because I'll buy everything that he makes a video and I'll buy it. You
Yep.
betcha. He's just a really great salesman. So keep watching, Lewis, but really give yourself 48 hours before you pull the trigger on anything after you've watched the video. And if you still want it 48 hours later, then you probably want it.
Well,
I
I
don't
have
know.
bad news for you, Lewis. Simon, I was talking to him on the phone, and he said, specifically pertaining to Canon, Canon ships everything to the US. The first tariff is added. Then, when it leaves the US and goes to Canada, another tariff is added, according to Simon. Okay. So, you guys that are in Canada, you get tariffed, whatever it's called,
Twice.
twice. Twice. Wow. That's like a bummer, as they say in my day.
But there, Lewis, there is a thing called Canon something. I'm gonna really rack my brain on what it's called because they got me. I think it was like $200 off that 90D. That's why I ended up buying it from Canada. So,
Canon, Canada,
um, no, it's a camera.
Kamita camera.
What do you call the thing that you watch where you get insider information ahead of time? What do you call that?
You jail.
That's only if you're trading. Um, it's like it's people that are all about Canon. It's like strictly for Canon camera stuff.
Like
And
Canon
it's
Forum or something like that.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I cannot remember the name of it right now, um but
Canon Watch. Another one's
I
Canon
bet it's
Watch.
Canon Watch, maybe.
Yeah, Canon Watch.
But I was just Googling um at the time where to get the best price, you know how I do. And I ran across this and it's a forum. That's what it is. And it's strictly for Canon users. So
Mm.
uh and there's like 6 or 7 people that all they do is check prices all day. And then when somebody puts something on sale, they'll put it on this forum and then you can send a message to them and say, "Hey, I'm looking for a 90D." And
Mm.
they'll send you back who has the best price. And what they do is they reach out to, in my case, Canon or can is it Canada Cameras or
No,
Cameras
Canon bleh. Canon first, camera second. Camera Canada.
Camera Canada.
Right.
There's yeah, Canon's not the name. So, but anyway, they reached out to them and you have to put the lowest price, the highest price that you're willing to pay, and then
Mm.
they reach out and they get a deal for you. And so you follow their link, and of course they get a little bit kickback, I'm sure. But I think they saved me like $200. Wasn't it 11.99 way
Yeah,
back
something
when?
to yeah.
Yeah. So, so Lewis, just there's a lot of ways to save money. And Jeff made it in. Good day, Sly and all. I am late to the party. What have I missed? Well, you missed my bags, Jeff. I don't know if these are available in Australia, so maybe you didn't miss anything. But this whole thing, now for those of us who don't drive,
I don't know who doesn't drive in here.
um,
I could
it
go
would
around
not
the block. Hey,
it
don't
would
take
not
that away.
be of interest. But for those of us who do drive on the daily a lot, this is a fantastic little bag to throw in your car. So I know I have my big backpack that I throw in there, but I don't know. I just really like having just something behind the seat. You can just open the door real quick, reach in, get whatever you need out. It's cool. Jeff says, "Good to see you, Peter."
Hi, Jeff. How you doing,
He's
buddy?
he's waving at you. And Lewis says, "Randy, hope you get better soon. That sounds like a painful back injury. Enjoy your massage and rest." Yeah, ibuprofen or aspirin or naproxen sodium all
When you
work
pull
really
a
well.
muscle across your back, it can hurt like
Yes.
terribly.
Yes,
Wow.
my
Yeah.
son was helping me move stuff, and he picked up these 100-pound shelves, which are in a great big box, and threw it up on his shoulder. And he's doing really good till he gets to the stairs, and then he twisted. And
Ooh.
yeah, he was
And
he was down for the count.
yeah.
So
Ouch.
Jeff says, "I saw your red mower, Randy." I didn't see a red mower.
He bought a new Toro. I told you.
Oh, Toro's red. Yes, okay. So Lewis saying hi to Jeff. See, everybody knows everybody. This is
Yeah,
why I like this.
it's a family meeting.
Yes,
This
it
has
is a family meeting.
we have basically evolved into something that's not common on YouTube. When we get together on my show on Friday, it's a family
Right.
basically meeting. You'll get the occasional person that'll come in and be like, "What do you think of this 35 millimeter lens on this particular camera?" But the rest of the show is not like that at all. I mean,
That's
it's
true.
Carlos correcting me, Sly correcting me, Lewis correct. Oh, come to think of it, I feel pretty bad at by the end of the show.
There's
Yeah.
well, speaking of Carlos, hey fam, hope all is well with
There he
everyone.
is.
There he
There he is.
is.
There he
Yes.
is.
And Lewis is saying, "Hello, Boca." That's funny. Lewis says, "Tom Buck made me want to buy new microphones because he makes a great video and he responds to me." Well, Tom is just a natural born salesman.
Yeah.
I mean, anything he shows me, it's just like, ooh. And he makes everything sound good, right? I bought my Deity, uh, what is it, the Wireless Go, because of Tom. He went out to the desert in California and he was testing these microphones out. And I'm like, ooh, that really sounds good. Well, everything sounds good from Tom. So
When I hear Tom Buck says, I just pulled my credit card right out.
there's,
That there's
that's
no
it.
sense. I hope I didn't show
Exactly.
anything, but whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Lewis says
I have
25% on Canon.
millions of dollars in this account too. Right?
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 25% on Canon. Is there another brand I need to get instead?
Yes, I told you 1,000
Hmm.
times. You need to get Sony, not because we love Sony. As a matter of fact, Sly doesn't particularly love her Sony.
Well,
Okay.
actually, if I
Uh
was going to
oh.
recommend, well, and I've said this 100 times, if I was going to recommend for somebody that was just starting out, didn't have lenses, didn't have anything, I would have them get involved in the Sony ecosystem
Mm,
instead of the Canon ecosystem. So I'm a Canon girl because I've got, what, 15 lenses.
yeah.
So
I bet it's for a different reason than my reason, though. So why would you tell them to go into the Sony ecosystem? Well,
I think Sony has a sharper, clearer picture.
yes.
They're a little light on their image stabilization, but there's a program that they can go in. If you're going to edit a
Yeah.
video, you might as well run it
Do
through
it.
that program, right?
Right, right.
So unless
That's why
you're
I think Sony is good because just like what we just experienced, what 5 minutes ago, Canon has a new camera and there's no stabilization. I didn't even know it until you just said it, Sly.
right,
Okay,
yeah, the V10 or is it
it,
V10
I think it's just V. I don't know if
or
it's got a number, but
it,
whatever it is, I didn't know it didn't have stabilization.
yeah, it's
But
either V1 or V10.
okay, now
It's the new
if
one,
V1, if V1,
V1.
okay,
Okay,
the reason I remember that now is I think Nikon had that 15 years ago, a
right.
V1. Okay,
Oh, okay, okay.
I think I'm not sure. Don't
Well, no, I
take
think
that
you're
as
right
gospel.
because
Okay,
I think the V10 was that one that slides up. That's
yeah,
more of a
nobody
rec.
liked that. Right?
Nobody likes it, right? Because
Yeah, nobody likes that.
I don't even like it.
Uh,
Okay,
and you
and
like everything. Mikey
I
likes
like
everything.
I like everything Canon, but I was wanting another point and shoot,
Hmm.
and so I was really excited when this new one came out, but the reviews are not good on it.
I
So,
didn't know that. But the point that I'm trying to make is completely separate from the camera. If it said Sony on it, you could take that image and stabilize it, that movie and stabilize it, is what I meant to
right,
say.
right.
Okay. So the stabilization is not dependent on the camera. You could get the cheapy weepy camera from Sony and
Mm.
have stabilization as good as their $6,000 camera. Okay.
Now, does
Free,
it
free.
work with
It's
does
free.
it work with all Sony cameras, even the
All
ZV-1?
newer.
All
Yes,
new, okay.
all newer ones, okay? So
So,
newer is anything in the last 4 years, excuse me.
well, the ZV-1's older than that, isn't it?
It works, I have one. I have a
Okay,
ZV-1, okay? And I
okay.
have a ZV-1 Mark II, and it
Right,
works in that also.
okay.
As long as the gyro data is present, then there's 2 softwares that I know of that will just stabilize them for you. One does a higher quality, and one does a shitty quality,
'Cause,
crappy quality.
I compared the Canon G7X with the Sony ZV-1 on my little bar side by side, and the
Hmm,
Sony absolutely tanked.
tanked
It was
in a bad
horrible.
way.
Yeah,
In
yeah, it
terms
was
of
really,
image?
uh, stabilization.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, the Sony, stabilization sucks,
yeah, it
but
was
you're
horrible.
not married to it, where the Canon, if it sucks, you are married to it, you can't fix it,
Right,
okay?
right,
Uh, you could fix it in, like, Final Cut Pro or something, but it introduces, a whole bunch of new problems.
right.
Uh, I gave it a thumbs down. I did try it. It's no, if it worked, I'd be on it like white on rice, okay? So
Well, the Canon was 100 times better than the Sony. And everybody, all the comments I got were, "Are you sure you had it turned on? Are you sure you did this? Are you sure you did this?" Yes, I'm 100% sure I did this. I should have shown everybody in the video, "Look, I've got it turned on."
yeah,
But uh so the Canon was one hands down, but then the Osmo beats the Canon hands down.
mhm.
So now I just use the Osmo.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't the Osmo in the same category as the Hero?
Yes.
Because the Hero's got one of the better stabilizations on the market. Period. Doesn't matter. They don't have a big sensor, but
Well,
it's magical. I mean, the sensor's so small, it's
right.
not hard for them to stabilize it.
Right.
Where on the cameras that we have, the sensor is instead of being tiny, it's huge. So try
Right.
to stabilize that thing.
Yeah. Well, the Osmo has in my opinion, a better picture than the Hero. So,
Osmo, not the Osbot.
the Osmo,
Osmo.
the Osmo, this
What
little baby,
category would that camera be?
action
There you
camera.
go. Action camera. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the
Um,
action cameras have the best stabilization.
so
Okay.
there's really three big hitters. There's the Insta360
Mm,
makes one. The GoPro, obviously, and then the Osmo Action. And the Insta360 would probably, as far as the image itself, if you just
did
went
I
out and took a picture. Hmm?
did I say Hero?
Yes.
It's
It's
GoPro
called
is what I meant.
it's called the GoPro Hero.
Is
That's
that what
why.
I got
Yeah,
confused? I'm
yeah.
going like, where did I suck that name in? Okay.
So no, they've got like the Hero. I think now they're on the Hero 13.
Okay.
Every year they bring out a new one.
But
But
GoPro is what I meant. And it's the
yeah,
action camera. It doesn't matter the make, or at least the big makes. Like the ones that you have good
right.
stabilization in them, you
They
know?
do. But if you were to just take a still picture, the Osmo has the best clarity. Um, the Insta360, it looks like it's modular, like you have to put pieces on it or whatever.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be waterproof as well, but I just like the image out of the Osmo better because I researched this to death, and so I've watched videos on all three of them. And the Hero 11 was really, really close to the Osmo. And then the 12 came out and they did something to screw it up. And the 13 came out and it doesn't look as good as the 4. Now, in my
Wow.
opinion, the 4 is a better everyday camera,
Mhm.
whereas the 5 is better for indoors and nighttime. So most people shoot with an action camera at night, at during the day. They don't shoot at night. So why Osmo did what they did, I don't know, because the 4, if I could only have one camera, period, it would be the 4, not the 5. So,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Now the good news is for Lewis,
Yes.
he does have an iPhone.
Yes.
And here's the surprise. The iPhone actually records the gyro data. So he could use his iPhone, get that free software, okay, GyroFlow, and he doesn't have to feel sad. He's at the head of the pack all of a sudden, you
Right.
know, because these iPhones, they deliver a pretty good picture.
They do.
Okay.
They do. But my issue is they're not waterproof and they're not, I don't want to break my phone.
Yeah. But most
So,
people only have the phone. They don't have camera gear.
right.
So
Right.
that
And
puts them in a hard position because they don't have camera gear,
well, and
So,
it's a whole different story as like your video usage and picture usage is so much different than the way I use a camera. And so I would not recommend an action camera for you at all. What are you going to do? Take it in the pool?
well, I was thinking, let's see, you're focusing or targeting the action camera with water.
Yes.
I'm targeting the action camera with small, cute, and keep it with me all the time. Water doesn't matter. I usually don't go in the water, but you do kayaking,
Yeah.
and that involves going in the water.
Well, we
Okay.
go fishing a lot,
Okay.
and
Fishing is another
so
one. Okay.
it has, I think it was the 4 has been dropped in the water several times. And it's very unassuming. So even a 5-year-old is not intimidated.
Spooked, you know.
And well, he'll even take videos, you
Pretty
know.
cool.
He loves to put it in his hand and off he goes, and I'm not going to show it, but at the park they have I think it's called a monorail,
Okay.
and you get up on a platform and it's got this little disc on a rope, and you grab the rope and you jump and you end up sitting on this little disc and you go down this monorail, right? And he took a video of Granny going down this monorail. So with the action camera, because he's not afraid to use it. And I'm not afraid for him to use it. If he drops it, it's not going to hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
If he drops one of your cameras, you might be a little upset with him.
It's going to be, oh, it's my fault for giving it to him.
Well, see, but with an action camera, I don't have to worry because they're
Yeah.
made for bumps and, rough and tumble and for action. So, um, and he did an excellent job. I had my son even asked me, he's like, who took the pictures?
Who
Because
took
obviously
those?
I'm doing the monorail thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Haas took them. And he's like, you're kidding. That came out great. And I'm like, yeah, well, he's chip off the old block. But
So let's not leave everybody out of this because they're writing some comments in here for you.
yes, that's what I'm saying. Lewis
Yeah.
says, "Is there another brand I need to get instead?"
No, Lewis,
Okay.
she should go first, but because I have such a big mouth, uh, you need to stop feeling under pressure. You're not a pressure cooker, okay? That's you're just relax. You got
So
what you need.
So, Lewis, I do have a question for you. Why, out of everything that we've talked about tonight, why would you go Fuji?
Oh, I didn't even see that. What did he do there? Golly gee whiz, Batman.
Yeah, yeah. And then he says Canon fanboys. Well, yeah, because I am immersed in Canon lenses, which is kind of why I need to stick with Canon, but most of my lenses won't fit their newer cameras. I think I have 4 out of 15 lenses that are EF or EFS, maybe 5.
Hmm.
Um, but the rest of them wouldn't switch over anyway, so what difference does it make?
That's the
Um,
R. Are you talking about the RF
the R
again?
system, yeah,
The
yeah,
R, yeah.
yeah,
Well, you're in 2 generations back. The
right,
M, they killed the M system completely. That's
right,
the one system they should have advanced because it's the right size, it's the right size lenses, it's the right pricing. Who's making these decisions up there? They need
right.
to get fired, because the M system
Well, they
right
probably
now
have
would be,
been.
yeah, well, they didn't fix anything. The M system is still gone,
Right. Well,
and it
but
should
it's
it
kinda
shouldn't be
like,
gone.
it's kinda like the old Dodge muscle cars. Those people who are enamored with them will not ever even consider a Ford or a Chevy,
Yeah,
and I love the M system. And there's a lot of us that do. So, uh, so I it'll take years before it completely dies out. But yes, as far as from Canon, it's dead. You can't
yeah.
get anything M for
Well,
Canon.
that's what I meant. It's still for
Yeah,
sale though. You can
right.
find gear. You, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact, just bought something recently, right? Didn't you
Mm,
buy a camera recently in the last half a year?
I don't think so.
The 200 or the 100 or something?
No, that's been over a year ago.
Oh, boy, time
Yeah.
flies.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that was actually in 2023. So, yeah, in fact, I just found a whole bunch of receipts that I couldn't use
Yeah, I
for
know
this
how that
year.
goes.
Yeah,
Right. Can I change the date on those?
right. Randy says Canon rumors. Yes, I think it was Canon rumors.
Hmm. Canon
Um,
watch, Canon rumors.
yeah.
It's one of those.
And Scott says shot an event Friday with my trusty 80D and forgot how nice it is. Yes, it is very nice.
It's a
Um,
very nice camera.
it's a little, it's a whole lot bigger than my M6 Mark IIs, and I actually sold my 80D to some very, very nice people, and he's in his late 70s, and this was his first ever camera. So
Wow.
now that he's retired, he's getting into photography, and so I threw in a couple extra things for him, but um, because I wasn't going to use it again. That the 80D never let me down. The 90D, yes, but the 80D never let me down, and but my M6s have never let me down either. So I have two of them, and so I just kind of
I
sold
I
the big
made
stuff.
a I made a video on when I first bought my ADD,
Hmm.
how I set up the camera.
Right,
And that video still floats in the top 3 or 4 videos on my channel. I'm wondering who's buying ADDs today. But Jeff is another person that he's just getting into. He's not 90 years old,
right,
okay, but I mean he's getting in the upper. He's not 20 or 30, okay.
right, right,
He's getting involved in photography. It's a hobby like boating and bowling and kayaking, and it's a hobby people can get involved in, and it's a
right.
fun hobby.
Well, I was hoping that they would send me a picture or two. She bought it for him for Christmas, and I was hoping after Christmas I would get a picture or two, but I never have.
Hmm.
And Lewis
My
is
I'm
saying hi to Scott.
getting a pimple here, and it's annoying as hell. and I want to scratch it, but I'm on camera, so I can't do this every 2 seconds.
Um, Lewis is saying to Randy, Randy said I don't need a new R8.
Good for you, Randy.
Yeah, I don't think you do, Lewis.
No,
Really. Scott saying hi. And slickdeals.com. I don't think that was, I think it was either Canon Rumors or the one Peter said.
Canon Watch.
Yeah, I think it was
Canon
Canon
Watch.
Watch, I
They
think.
they they watch pricing is how they're different than Canon Rumors.
Yes, I think it was Canon
So
Watch.
and they'll tell you the pricing on a camera and where that price is available.
Right.
You know,
Well, I submitted a thing to them with like my top price, and then they went out and found somebody that would honor it, and it happened to be in Canada. So, but now the if there's tariffs, it may it may be out of like Temu is now out of my reach. I can't pay $186 in tariffs for $45 worth of product.
hmm
That's just kind of stupid. But Lewis says, just can't stop watching these reviews because I have fear of missing out, but I end up getting disappointed. How do I stop wanting to get new stuff, Sly? Well, like I said, Lewis, I have the 48-hour rule, whereas if I still want something 2 days after I've seen the video, then I probably really want it. But a lot of the stuff that I see videos on, I'm thinking, oh, that's really cool. And then 2 days later, I don't even remember what it is. So, yeah. So you kind of just have to do your research and like Peter said, for now, I would just stick with the phone. I mean, you're
I've seen a video specifically from Lewis, and I was awed at least on three different levels.
mhm,
One was the picture quality.
right.
It was done on a phone. Okay.
Yes.
One was the picture quality. The second was his singing. He
Mhm,
sang like an angel. I was like,
right.
"You did that?" You know. And what was the third? The lighting and everything. It I had no clue it was done on a phone. So what you can actually do on a phone. What is that with your skills? What's
Yeah.
that T-shirt you
Upgrade your
said?
skills. Yeah.
Yep.
So, Lewis, they do make, let me see if I can find it. What did I do with it? They do make this. Now, this is for the action camera, but they make one for an iPhone. And Ulanzi makes it. Um, it's one of these little lights. And look how little that thing is. But they make it to where it'll go on the mount for the phone, which is in the other room. So you put your phone in. Here's my phone. Okay, you put your phone in the holder, and then the light sits on the holder, right? And now all of a sudden you have lit up your video. So, and these things work amazingly well. Now I keep that one for the 4 because the 4 sucks in low light, and you would be amazed how just that much light. Um,
Did you say there's a holder for the phone?
uh-huh. Elonzi sells a phone holder, and this light just sits on top of it.
Is it like with a handle?
So look how that lights me up. I mean,
You
that's
light up my life.
and that's
You
without it,
give me
and
home.
that's with it.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
it is pretty impressive. So, but it just sits right on top, and it'll probably blow the camera out, but it just sits right on top, and it really makes a difference in the video quality. And Lewis, these are not expensive. Now, I don't know about tariffs,
How
you
long do they
know.
go? How long will it last?
I've never run this down. It's charges by a USB-C, and I've never run it down. So
So if you took that to a birthday party, would it hold up?
it would, I assume it would go an hour or two. Um, I mean,
Do you
usually
have
my videos aren't that long.
how much is that
Eh,
thing?
It's like $15.
Golly gee
So
whiz, Batman.
so Lewis, get you and it comes with the phone adapter. Mine's in the other room,
Your
but
name isn't Tom Buck, is it? I want
15.
one. I want
Well,
one.
but the thing is, Lewis, you may not be able to afford a $3,000 camera, but you probably can afford a $15 light.
Which will make your phone look like a
Look, mhm,
$15,000 camera.
there you go. So,
That's a good topic for a video, Sly. You should do that and show it
right?
off. Yeah, I should do
Uh,
that.
Scott says slickdeals.com.
Sick
I'm
deals? Oh, slick.
slickdeals.com.
Slick.
Yeah, not familiar with that, but I'm going to look it up now. Um, Lewis says I just can't stop watching. Have I already? Yes, I've
You
already read
just
that.
read that
Okay.
one. That's what launched this.
Mr. Camera Junkie talks about offer up all the time.
Yeah, you told
So
me about that too, didn't you, Sly?
yeah, so offer up is I know Florida and California, but we don't have that here in the Midwest. So I don't know if they have that in Canada or not.
I'm in Florida, you know.
Yes, they have it in Florida.
So they have,
They do not have it in the Midwest. Um, Randy says, Lewis, repeat after me. I do not need the Canon R8. And so Lewis is repeating, I do not need the Canon R8. Thanks, Randy. Uh, oh,
but honestly though, the R8 is not going to do well, yeah, it will. Maybe you should not look at it too hard, Louis, because you might come home with it from the store if you do. And then you're going to feel all terrible because you spent all that money buying that camera. But you should buy a damn Sony. It's got everything you need and then some.
okay, Carlos, I fixed it.
Hey, tell everybody that this is uh Bokeh Bashudo is Carlos because it looks like in your comments that they're not realizing that it's Carlos.
Oh, yes. Well, I thought everybody knew that. Everybody here
I
knows
thought
that.
though, yeah, but they're you'll see in a minute or two when you go down.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Is Carlos in your green room?
no,
Oh, okay.
no.
And he must be working tonight.
Yeah, just
Oh no, no,
saying,
no. He said he's out on the road.
oh,
He was going somewhere. Not
okay.
a trip, but just anyway.
Jeff is saying good day to Lewis. How have you been? And Lewis is responding, good day, mate. I'm great, Jeff. We all just love saying that. Good day.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
day. Yeah, that's the fun word of
of
every
the
time.
yeah.
Good day. Good day. Good
Lewis
day.
says, oh, Sony ZV-E1. Is that what I need to get?
Hmm.
I
Lewis is
would.
turning. Lewis is his own comedy routine. He's sitting there laughing his head off because he knows how to provoke us and he
Well, no,
enjoys.
I'm not provoked at all. But I think you're on the better track than if you were, say, to go a Canon track.
But a real one would be the Sony E10 Mark II. That's not a $2,500 camera. That's $1,000 camera.
Well,
1100 with the lens.
now you do realize Lewis has Canon lenses,
I know that could be a
but
problem, but if you get one or two just right lenses,
right.
that could take you and hold you for a couple of years.
That's
You know.
yeah, yeah. It really can. I mean,
So
I gravitate back and I seem to use the 22, the 24, the 11 to 22, and the 15 to 45, and pretty much the rest of them just sit on the shelf.
right, this lens has sat on this camera almost forever, and the other one that is just like this is sitting on my desk. I can't reach it. It's a 20 to 50, or 20 to 40. No, 20 to 70. Randy's going to get mad because he sent me that lens.
Is it
Uh,
24 to 70?
no, it's not 24. That's the unique thing about it. It's
Okay.
20 to 70.
Okay.
20, 20, 20 to 70. T-O 70. Golly gee whiz, Batman. Time for me to stop talking.
Canon is for rich people. No, not really. That new ZV or V1 they came out with is $900. So it's not really a now I I don't need it, but somebody might.
It's not for millionaires, it's for thousandaires.
Yeah. Lewis says if I get a Sony ZVE1, I'd get the 55 millimeter for the 3D pop. Okay. I,
You know
I
something, Lewis? It sounds like I'm picking on you, but I like to pick on you. It's fun. Okay. You can get the 3D pop, otherwise known as bokeh. Okay. The background that's blurred out. That is created by your skill. Your lens helps, but it isn't everything. I used to shoot weddings with a 24 to 70, which is a standard
oh,
staple lens.
that's
Hi,
not what I meant
Sly.
to. That's not what I meant to do. But I was going to show him the background is blurred, but that's not what
Yeah.
I meant to do. How do I get undo that?
See if you got a back button. Did you change the scene maybe? Because I
No,
do.
here
That's how you
that
do it.
worked.
if if it works, hey,
It worked.
she knows just how to do it. I forgot
There
what I
you
was
go.
talking about. Oh, the skills is going to
Yes,
blur the background.
right.
Used to shoot weddings with a 24 to 105 f4 lens and come home with all the background blur I needed. Okay, f4 24 to 105 full frame, which makes it even harder because then when you get the smaller one, it makes it easier to do that. When I mean
But
smaller one, I meant
sometimes you
smaller
don't
sensor.
want the background blurred.
And sometimes you don't. That's a big surprise. Okay,
So,
that I don't talk enough about that part. But when I shoot weddings, which I don't do anymore, the
yeah,
bride isn't look interested in my artistry.
right.
She wants to see Uncle Bob in the background picking his nose, or the little baby and grandma's giving the baby a kiss, or the baby's giving grandma a kiss. Why is it all blurry back there? They get all ticked off at me.
Well, I
So
was
I've
thinking on vacation, if you're in front of the pyramids, you don't want to blur that out because you want to see the person who's in front of the pyramid, but you also want to see the pyramid. So you don't always want to have blurry background. So
Yeah, on portraits, yeah, okay,
yeah, sure, because
maybe
that's
in a set like Sly's got and I got going on here. Maybe we
right,
want a blurry background here, but it's got its place.
right.
Carlos is telling me not to talk so much. Okay, sorry, Carlos.
Okay. The new Canon PowerShot V1 point and shoot looks pretty awesome, except there's no image stabilization.
Wow,
I don't think. That was
that's
kind of the
amazing.
the killer for me because um yeah, I was really interested when they said they were coming out with a new point and shoot. I was very interested until I found out that it probably would suck. So, uh, I haven't seen a video on anyone that specifically addressed that issue, but I'm sure they're out there. Carlos, it's $1,500 Canadian because of the tariffs here for the V1. Yeah, see, that's $600 more than it is here.
That can be a
That's
bucket full of
that's
money.
that's yeah. And Jeff says, Randy, I now have the Sigma 70 to 300 to take to Turkey.
Ah, he bought something.
And it was from my son. Very sharp, love it. So his
Wait,
son gifted him the lens.
yeah, but you're on the wrong thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Got it.
Yeah. And Carlos is saying, wow, to Lewis, that $600 tariff, that's crazy. I agree. That's a lot. Um, which Sony am I getting, family? Peter?
What?
The ZVE1?
ZVE1 Mark II is a baby E1, my Eleanor. It's a
Mm-hmm.
baby version of it. Instead of it's 4K, it's 10-bit, so it's just not full frame. And it's less likely to overheat because it's got a smaller sensor. Smaller sensor is less heat. Okay.
All right.
Now you could
There
play
you
in your
go.
mind. Like I love to shop for cars. I can't afford any of them. But
Right.
I went from Tesla to another brand to another brand, and then I went back to Tesla, and now I'm at Cadillac, a Cadillac Optic, and then Cadillac just came out with a Vistic. I don't know how they would come up with these names. In my day, it was Fleetwood, Sedan DeVille, the
Right.
Chevrolet Bel Air, Impala. Now we got Ix, Optic, Bistic, Lipstick.
Well, they haven't asked us about how to name their cars, so
Yeah.
yeah. Scott says the Canon PowerShot V1 supposedly it has optical and digital stabilization. Okay.
She's not
I
convinced.
no,
She's not convinced.
I want to see it in action. I want to see how it actually works. Carlos says it shoots in C-Log 3 and built-in 3-stop ND filter, digital image state. I really can speak English. Digital image stabilization with the lens optical image stabilization. So you would think it would be pretty good. Then why did everybody say it sucks?
Wait a minute. It
I
shoots in C-Log 3,
yeah.
winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Hmm.
Built-in 3-stop ND. I don't have a camera that has built-in ND anywhere.
Right.
Can you put that back up? I can't see it. Digital image stabilization with the lenses optical
Optical.
stabilization.
Right.
So it's got dual type of stabilization. Well, I don't want to burst Carlos's bubble or balloon or anything. Or I don't want to spill his cup of tea. Uh, he likes the Oriental Chinese tea with the ceremonies, and they're beautiful. And the tea is actually pretty good. His
Yeah.
wife's name is Meg, and when I wasn't feeling well, she had me make a ginger tea, ginger root tea, and it
Right.
helped a lot. So I don't want to make you spill your cup of tea, but Sony has that same stuff in their image stabilization sucks. Okay,
Well, now
optical with
this is a
image.
this is a point and shoot.
How big is it?
The same size the G7X. It's not. It's little bitty. It's
Oh,
about the size of the ZV-1.
that small?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, I
Okay.
was really kind of interested in it until everybody started slamming the stabilization. Lewis says, "Do I get the Osmo then? I'm getting confused." No, Lewis, you don't. Now, if you're doing if you're doing stuff around water, or let's say you're bungee jumping, okay, then 100% yes, get an action camera.
Lewis
But
is not bungee jumping, and he's not going in the water with his
no,
camera.
no, I
Maybe the
none it.
bathtub. Okay.
I've never seen any video that you've done that has been in what you would call an action scene, except you're dancing. But even then, you're dancing in dry conditions. So
And the camera was on a tripod. He was dancing. He was not holding the
yeah,
camera. You
right.
know,
So
it was in the
yeah,
subway, I think, or
and
something that looked like a subway.
yeah, so I don't think you're really in that hard use scenario where you're giving it to somebody that might drop it or drop it in the water, which has happened to this gal several times. A couple of times. He's dropped it in the water twice. But uh so I need the waterproofness, right? And I need it to be fairly rugged because I am putting it in the hands of a 5-year-old quite a bit. So, um, I'm usually the one holding it, but he does like to hold it and run with it. And I mean run and go down slides with it. And then he immediately wants to see the film back,
Right away. Yeah.
you know? So, so no, I would save my pennies and get an actual camera, not an action camera. But
I want to be at Lewis's house on Christmas Day morning. He is so excitable. He's gonna somebody's gonna give him a package of pens, and he's gonna all freak out all over the pens. So I don't know what to buy.
I love his exuberance.
Oh, he is very exuberant. I love his exuberance too.
And
That's
I got really excited. I need to remember to put it in front of my face. I got really excited about my pen. I bought 3 of these. I got so excited. So, Peter, we can get excited about pens.
okay. So what's so exciting about that ding dong pen?
It's one of those bolt action pens, which
What do you
is
mean
cool.
bolt action? It's a gun?
It's well, no, it's got like a bolt. action.
A button. Oh, it's got a button.
Yeah. So that's how it, when you pull it down,
What color does it write? Blue or black?
blue.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's got little, so, but then sometimes you just need a pencil, right?
Mm.
And so if you do the bolt the other way, I can get it up here.
Ah, no way, Jose.
It's a pencil.
Oh my God, I can never find a pencil when I need one. And when I do
See?
find one, guess what? It's not sharpened.
It's not
Then
sharpened.
I can't find that thing to sharpen the pencil.
So my son was with me and when we were packing stuff up, and every single pen that he ran across, he put in his pocket. And he must have had 20 pens, right?
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
like, why are you taking all the pens? I mean, I don't care, but why are you doing that? He's a waiter, and he said he loses 4 to 5 pens a day.
Oh wow.
People take them. They sign their credit card thing and then just put the pen in their pocket and take off with them. So just like that. Yep. So he was taking all the pens. Lewis says to Carlos, the digital image stabilization crops into 29 millimeter lens.
Wow.
Okay, that's quite a bit. Can get the Osmo provide shallow depth of field if desired to an extent,
Yes.
not like you can with a camera.
If you throw
So
somebody off the Empire State Building, they'll be out of focus by the time they hit the ground.
there you go.
If you're
Carlos saying
holding the
right.
camera on the top.
Lewis says, I'm confused more and more each day. Uh, it just gets worse the older you get. So
Yeah.
yeah, be grateful that you have the mind of a 30-year-old and you're not
Yeah.
as confused as Peter and I are now. Carlos says also the V1 autofocus system is taken from the R6 Mark II.
Huh? They took it?
Well, that would be a good thing
No,
because I think the R6 Mark II focuses really well.
it does. Actually, it focuses very well. I have a problem with it. If I get out of the focus area, it'll focus on something almost instantly. So it focuses well,
Yeah,
but you know, it's considered one of the better focus systems. But
I tell you,
I
this little thing doesn't do a bad job.
actually it
If
does a good job,
it
even
does
with your
a
just the like
see,
gesticulations, gesticulations.
well, I have that turned off. You
Uh,
can turn that off
oh,
because
okay.
yeah, because I do this a little bit. So not as much as you, but so I have that turned off.
Can you believe that you're over an hour already?
I know, but I'm not through with the comments yet.
I know, but see, when you're having
If you
fun with
need to
people
go,
in there, no, I don't have to go pee pee yet. Give me a minute.
okay. You knew where that was going, didn't you?
Yeah, I certainly did. Boy, the other night when I was live, I had to go so bad, and it was like, oh dear Lord. And I ended the show and said goodbye and bzz, ran to the bathroom.
Jeff is saying good day to Carlos. Hope your week has been a great one. Carlos says all is well here, Jeff. Thanks. Um, Jeff says to Lewis, AI would not, I would not stress in not having the latest gear. If what you have works for you, then that's all that matters. Amen, brother. Because my little M6s are what 2 or 3 years old, and they still work flawlessly. So
And you're not even shopping for cameras.
I'm not well. If I mean Lewis is, but he needs to pick what works for him, not what works for me or what works for you.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jeff. I shoot with the Canon T6S and still enjoy life. Lewis, you actually have an M camera and I think a couple of M lenses and can use that magic lantern. And that magic lantern can do a plethora of things to improve the original image. Just saying. I agree, Peter. I love the M system. Yeah, I think Carlos has an M6 Mark II.
Hmm.
There's a lot of us.
It's one of their more solid cameras. It's the
Yeah.
equivalent of a 90D
Yes.
and then some.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So
I mean, put that 35 millimeter manual focus lens on it, and I would put that up against any camera.
Hmm.
So,
And they're
uh,
light. They're not a heavy camera.
right. The EOS M I still have. I love that 22 millimeter lens pancake. Yes. So, Lewis, that's the 22, the 24 EFS on an adapter, the 11 to 22, which is an M, and the 15 to 45, which is an M. Those are the four lenses that I use pretty much all the time.
So why don't you tell Lewis what lens would you recommend for him? Because you've experienced them and I haven't. You've got all these four and then some.
Well, he's got
Uh,
the 22. So,
what does it become? It's not a 2x, it's a 1.6, right?
yes.
No.
So,
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
So, what would that be, about a
It's almost like a 35
30?
millimeter,
Yeah.
and those are
Yeah.
good. I love the 35 millimeter 1.4 lens that I have. It's one of my favorite lenses.
So, Lewis, you already have it. You just need to download that. I think it's called Magic Lantern, I think. And it was specifically made for the M. The M camera is like the beginning of the M series. I think I know there was an M5 and an M6, M6 Mark II, but then there was the M and the M100 and the M200. And I think the M was the one that started it all. So that Magic Lantern was made for that camera. Carlos says, Lewis, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings with my video today. Oh, now I've got to watch the video.
Yeah, now we all have to run over there and see what Carlos did.
Lewis says, you kicked my teeth in.
Uh-oh. Now we really have to go watch
I
it.
know, right? Jeff says, Lewis, the Osmo, the GoPro are just as good as each other. In my opinion, they both have pros and cons. But if you have a GoPro, I have an old GoPro Hero 7 and love it. Yeah, if I was going to, now I'm immersed in the Osmo system. I've got the DJI mics, I've got the Osmo cameras, but if I was going to get immersed in the GoPro, I would probably start with the 11, because that's when there was a big change between the 10 and the 11. And I know several people that use GoPros for their videos, like when they're out doing stuff. And you could see a big difference when they changed from the 10 to the 11. I have not seen such a change from an 11 to a 12 or a 13, but from the 10 to the 11, it was noticeable. So I would start with a 11.
And sometimes you can get a bum camera, like your 90D.
Yes.
Your 80D wiped the floor with the
Right.
90D, and the
Right.
90D was newer, but that that was not a good camera for
No, and
whoever
that,
owned it.
well, and it's funny because the local camera store now has that camera. So it has had three owners, and it's now in a camera store for sale.
So nobody
So
has put it out of its misery.
so
Okay.
so I'm not the only one that had trouble with it. Um, why did the 80D treat you better than the 90D? Is it because the higher resolution? Apparently, you need a better lens to resolve all that 32 megapixels, but the Marks, it also has the same sensor. So I think, Lewis, that it was just a bad camera. Um, it it had some things that happened to me that were unforgivable, and as Peter said, I lost faith in the camera. So it recorded half of Christmas and it lost the other half. Um, that was one thing, and then I think there was a thing with the audio when it was my fault was on the I think on the 80D, but that was my fault. So, um, so it just seemed like every time I used it, something went wrong, and it was at a moment when I couldn't redo that, like at Christmas time. You can't redo that. Um, so if when I'm shooting out at the playground or whatever, I shoot so much of that stuff that if I have a failure, it's okay. I'm probably not going to lose a once in a lifetime moment because we go to the playground every week. But Christmas is a one-time deal. You
Mm.
know, you can't rewrap the gifts and say, okay, well, I lost that. Everybody needs to repack, rewrap all that, and let's open it again. So it's kind of like shooting a wedding. I mean, you can't say, oh, I lost the first half. Can we go back and redo the vows? You know? So once you lose faith in a camera, it's time to get rid of it. And the lady I sold it to had it for about 3 months and then she sold it. And I've been kind of keeping track of it as it gets sold. But but now it's in a local camera store, and I would love to go in and say, I know the history on that camera. You might want to check it out before you put it up for sale.
Then they'd have to eat it.
Peter is making faces. See, they have my back, Peter. You better watch it.
That Carlos, he's something else.
Sly, that's a great light. Meg says hi, Peter. Hello, Meg.
Hi, Meg. I
Jeff
love Meg.
says,
I actually got to talk to her the other day for a few seconds.
yeah,
Sweetest person you ever wanted to talk to.
I think, Carlos was showing one of her things where she was making tea. This has been like a year or two ago.
No, she does a tea ceremony, and it's very
Yeah,
serious business. It's not a joke,
right,
and it's
right.
not. You don't talk like I do. I have to put tape on my mouth if I went to one of those. She's
Yes.
very serious. It encompasses your body, and it encompasses your mood. Okay,
Well, I think it's a very formal affair.
it's very formal, but it's also, I don't want to say spiritual, but almost. Okay,
Yeah,
you get in a very reverent frame of mind, and she does a really good job. Okay,
yeah. Well,
so
I think she studied this for a really long time too.
mm-hmm.
So, Jeff says, Lewis, in my opinion, the reason the 80D was better suited is the 80D was not as fussy when it came to lens choice. Where the 90D, when it came to older lenses, I owned the 90D and sold it. So, um, that may have been some of it, but it just once you lose faith in a camera,
It's gone.
it's
You know.
done, you know, because you're not going to take that camera anymore if you're worried that it might fail. You're going to grab something that hasn't failed you yet, right? So,
Yeah, I don't drive a lot, so when I went to go to the grocery store the other day, the car sounded a little weak when I cranked it.
mhm.
And all the way to the grocery store, that's the only thing I could think about. This thing better start when I'm in that parking lot over there. This thing better start. And you know what? It almost didn't start. If it wasn't for the engine being so on the ball, I would have been out of luck. Okay, because it cranked and died, and then I don't know. God must have flicked his finger or something. The engine came to life for no reason.
Well,
Okay,
you're probably not driving enough to,
no, I go every 2 to 3 weeks. You know.
well, but even that, if you were driving further where
Mm-hmm.
the alternator had a chance to charge the battery, but
Mm-hmm.
you're probably not driving far enough for it to do that. So,
No, it's 11 blocks from here.
yeah.
That's it.
And
And
I think
it's 3 or 4 years old for that battery. So
Lewis says, thank you for inspiring me to be happy. So which Sony am I getting?
I told you he's a secret under the radar comedian. He doesn't. He has not let us know that. He's funny. He's very funny. He's so
I love
lovable
you,
too.
Lewis. He
He's so
is. You
lovable.
are. Yes.
Absolutely.
Lewis is in rare form tonight. Yes. Oh, do I skip the Sony ZV-1 Mark One and favor the Sony ZV-E Mark Two? Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
the E10 Mark II is the camera that should be in your hands after you do all this butterfly fluttering around all over the place. I'm surprised he hasn't talked about some expensive camera. You know, so
Carlos says, everyone don't enable Lewis.
oh, let's enable him. He's so much fun. It's like giving. There we go. Thank you, Sly.
Yeah, did you see the R5 Mark II? It's 7,000 in Canada. Wow.
I bet the next thing
Wow.
says, "Should I get that?" Is he going to say, "Should I get that?"
No. 24 to 105 lens to use a flash peter.
Yes, I did, but
Okay.
not for the ones where I wanted bokeh. I used the available light at that time, and
Louis, I'll tell you, I gave my flash to the guy that bought the 90D because I don't really use it anymore. Um, but I was playing with it in the house one night, and I had this little doll I put on the sofa. Now my sofa is a dark brown leather sofa, and I put this little stuffed angel thing, and I was taking pictures of her just playing with the cameras. And when I had the flash pointed directly at her, it completely washed out the picture. But when I bounced it off the ceiling, it was an amazing picture. Okay.
absolutely, yep.
So you know, if you use a flash, because I don't think you've used one a lot, um, play with it before you actually go out and try to take a picture with of something, and it's important picture. Play
I
with the
agree.
flash
I agree with
before.
Sly. Yes, test.
Yeah. Test
How
it.
much does it cost to take a picture with our cameras? Nothing.
Nothing,
So take
right?
the pictures.
And
Test.
there's a thing called, which I probably should have given him too because I don't have a flash anymore, but there's a thing called a better bounce card that
I
works
heard of
really
that.
well too. Have you?
Yes.
They came out quite a few years ago, but they still work really well.
I had an itch over here on my
They,
chin. Wait, I have an itch over on this side.
but
That
for they really work good.
yeah,
And
they
they come
do.
in all kinds of sizes.
It's embarrassing because I have to tell people that my product is the best thing on the market, and I have most of the competition stuff here. And when I don't go to get the $300 job. I reach for this because it works.
Yeah,
Okay,
you could it
so
would probably make something like this light up a whole lot more than you can't see what I'm holding up.
yeah, it's over here
It
because
would
we got
probably make
a small.
something like this hold up a lot, like, if that was on the front of it, it would
Yeah,
make it a lot brighter. So,
yeah.
haven't tried that yet, but I know we're enabling. Um, Jeff says, to Lewis, "You do not need to feel, you need the latest didn't I already read that? You'll never be with gear is you'll never be happy, and the next new model that comes out, you'll want it." Yes, that's true. That's
Uh,
very, very true.
Jeff is saying get over your gas.
Get over
Gear
your gas.
acquisition
Yes,
syndrome. Get
I have.
over your gas, Lewis.
Yes. Jeff, you're right, but I will give up the ZVE1 and go for the ZV10
Mark
Mark
two,
II. Just wanted to, oh
dream.
shoot, dream of full frame goodness. The Subway, used the 24 millimeter STM Canon lens on the APS-C, and I also used the GoPro Hero 7 because they're small and people don't steal things they can't see.
Mm.
Yeah, well,
You were in the subway. I remember
yeah,
that
that,
video.
yeah. So that is true, but they will take a backpack even though they don't know what's in it.
Oh yeah.
But if it
Then they'll
says
throw it away.
Canon
Oh
or
yeah. Then
Sony, then they have an idea of what's in it. Yeah. This was too much fun. Thank you for your kindness. Always love you, Peter, Sly, and friends. We love you too, Lewis. You make us laugh.
yes,
I'm,
and we do
I'm,
love you. Really, we do love you.
we do. We do. You are a member of the family. Uh,
Absolutely.
I'm going to look for what lenses work best that are small and compact with the ZV-10 Mark II. I think there is a plethora it's a pretty small camera.
This
So there's,
lens is an 11 millimeter Sony. It's one of my favorite lenses, and it's a crop sensor lens, which will take this full frame camera and make it step down into a crop sensor mode. But don't ever think of taking this lens away from me. It's 11 millimeters f1.8 Sony lens. That would be very high on the list. Okay. Uh, and it's small. If I take the lens off here, and Sly's the one that got me into how much does it weigh? I never paid attention to that before. But the first thing I ask on this stuff now, how much does it weigh? Because your hands get tired after a while holding this stuff up. And
Yes.
so with this lens on this camera, I could easily do what do you call it? Selfie videos, or turn around, take pictures of Sly playing on the floor with her grandson, you know, and it just works.
Well,
So
another thing too is Peter has short arms like me. So, if somebody is 6'4", you can hold the camera out further from you. But when you're 5'4", the camera is closer because your arms aren't that long. So it really does make a difference. So we need like if we're gonna do like the vlogging thing, we need like an 11 millimeter.
Carlos, I want you to know I behaved.
Evelyn says, hit the thumbs up. Yes, please.
Oh, Evelyn, if you're still awake, do you have a cell phone? How are you doing this, on a computer or a cell phone? We were just arguing about you about an hour ago. Uh, do you have an iPhone specifically? Specifically, do you have an
It
iPhone from
doesn't it
Apple?
doesn't it doesn't matter. As long
You
as she's
can,
on Google, it doesn't matter.
so she can do it on an Android phone too?
Same way. Same
Okay.
exact way. Yeah, as
So
long
back
as
to the
she's on
original
Google.
question. You have a cell phone, Evelyn, and can you do this with your cell phone? Can you hold it up and aim it towards you like I'm doing with mine? Okay. See
Well,
the little.
but that would be hard to sit there and hold this up for very long.
Oh no, you would have to
You
get
know.
a stand and stuff. But if
Yeah.
she could do this, okay, then she's advanced enough to fix her hair, put on a nice blouse, and come on and join us and
I
say
don't care
hello.
if you're in your jammies. We don't care.
She will care. We
She
don't
might
care, but
care.
she will care, right?
Lewis says, thanks, Evelyn. I hit the like button. Scott says, perhaps a bad SD card, the culprit of that 90D. I did experience that back in the CF card days. Quarantined that card and the camera was fine. No, I went
Actually,
through.
no, actually, the only thing that worked well on that camera was the SD card, CF card. Okay, everything else on the camera didn't work very good, including the
Well,
focusing,
no,
the sound.
the SD card, it lost half a Christmas.
Oh, did you attribute that to the SD card or the 90D?
The 90D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I did try, I used the same card after I got what was left of Christmas off that card. I reformatted it, tried it in the 80D, and it worked fine. So it was the camera. It was just a bad camera. Lewis says, see, this is why I need to stop shopping for cameras. I forgot to eat dinner. Love you, friends. Go eat your dinner. We'll see you next week. Lewis is sending love. There she
But
goes. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah. Uh, and Carlos says, everyone listen to Evelyn and hit the thumbs up. Yeah, all you lurkers out there, be sure and hit the thumbs up. I know you're there because
yeah,
you
what's with
leave,
the lurking?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I have several lurkers every week and it is what it is. I guess they're shy. I won't put you on camera. So, I mean, you have to click a link and want to be on camera. It's not like I can just pick you out from a crowd. So, Lewis says, I will start researching some APS-C Sony lenses. Thank you, Sly and Peter. Skip the ZV-10 Mark I and save for the Mark II. Dreams come true. Thank you. Lewis, if you wait too long, there'll be a Mark III.
Be Mark III.
Yeah, just saying. And Evelyn's saying thanks to Lewis. And Carlos is saying, we back, baby.
We
That's
back,
that's
baby.
Lewis's, yeah, that's his
That's
favorite
his.
saying is we back, baby.
That's his line.
Over here, the ZV-10 Mark II body only is the same price as the Canon V1. So I
Oh,
think the ZVE-10 Mark II is the winner. I just need
yeah.
a lens. Yeah, oh, if they're the same price, definitely. Yeah, I would definitely go with the E10. The ZVE-10 Mark I used here is around 700. Wow. and the Mark II is 1500. Is it twice as better? Peter, you've had both.
Well, the pricing doesn't make sense because here the pricing is 700 for the Mark 1 and 1000 for the Mark 2. So over there it's 700 for the Mark 1 and more than
If
double for the Mark 2.
right. So
Something's a little goofy.
well, if with that being said, is the Mark II worth twice the money as the Mark One?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And but that doesn't mean that the Mark 1 is a bad camera. It's a good camera. But the Mark 2 took all the complaints and everything that you could think of that needed fixing and got it fixed. Except the image stabilization is still as bad. Okay. Nothing you can do about that. Gyro flow, baby, gyro flow, and it's free.
I
Like
think it's
a free $100. What's it? That's from Louis Vega.
yes,
Free hundred
free hundred
dollars.
dollars. Yes.
Right.
I think it's time to reduce the gas and go eat some dinner. Thank you, Sly and Peter. Love you. Love you too, Louis.
Louis, are you leaving again?
He's making faces again.
See, he's a troublemaker. It's
No,
like
you.
no,
He can't see
he's
Lewis's
telling,
face.
he's talking to you. He's like the kid telling mommy, he's making faces again, mommy.
Yeah, he's
So
talking
I
about
don't make,
you.
but I don't make faces.
See? Good night, Peter and friends.
Louis is leaving again. How many
He
times is
is.
he going to
He
leave in one
is.
night?
Jeff says, I'm with you, Sly. The 90D had issues. Had to send it back the first week of buying it. I even had all the lenses recommended, and the focus issue was there from day one. I sold the 90D. Yeah. I'm sure I just got a bad one, but it was just move on. Don't try to fix it. And I did. I tried several times to figure out because Peter kept saying it was me. It wasn't me, it was the camera. I think he finally admitted to that.
Oh, this way.
He's making faces again.
You need to ban Carlos. He's going to tell Peter's making faces again.
I hope you save the replay so I can watch this again and take notes. A lot to unpack here. Evelyn says, yes, and do not want to be on computer. Not yet. That's fine. That's fine. When you're ready, we're ready.
Right,
We'll
that's a
just,
positive statement. Not
well,
yet.
not yet. Yeah, we'll put
Right.
it that way. When you're ready, we're ready. Liz says, okay, 11 millimeters on the list. I also like the Sony 55.
He's
So I
back.
need
He's back again. He just
a
left.
middle lens. Hey, the boy is hungry and we are keeping him from dinner.
Oh, tell
So,
me what you want. I'll make it for you, Louis. Darn.
well, he might be able to make it and send it to him by the time we're done.
Really?
Jeff said it would be great to see Lewis, Evelyn, and others come on live. It's great to see the people see in the comments. Yes, it is.
We're just getting rolling on that.
Yeah. Good night, Lewis.
Good night, Louis.
Evelyn says, I'm old, but I'm still up.
Good
Yeah,
for
well,
you.
we're right there with you. Carlos says, just saying, you guys are great together. Maybe start a new channel. Well, I
It'll be the Peter and Sly show.
yeah, yeah, I
You're
think when
supposed to
there's,
say you're supposed to say it'll be the Sly and Peter show.
well, it would be.
No, it's Peter and Sly.
No,
There you
it'd be
go.
the woman's always first, so it's always the Sly and Peter show.
Yeah, but the guy always drives. So the women, when you get married, your wife, you suddenly have an automatic
Do you
driving
know,
helper with you in the
do you
next.
know, do you
The
know
light turned
why?
green. The light turned green, dear. Gosh, I would have never known that myself. Thank you for helping me with that.
Do you know why the man always drives?
I'm afraid to ask, but no, why?
It's so that the women have time to look around. We're not stupid. We want to sit in the passenger seat so that we can look around.
And tell us everything we're doing wrong.
Well,
You're
yeah,
going too fast. You're going
yeah.
too slow. The light turned
Well,
green.
there's
The light
that.
turned red.
Yeah, there is that. So, watch like on Keeping Up Appearances, there was an old British sitcom, and she was the queen of telling her husband how to drive. And she even told him one day to mind the cows that were in the field. Yeah, yeah. So uh, Carlos says this is extremely entertaining. Yeah, well, it is what it is. But it is also, what is it, 10:40? Is that right? Have we
So what
gone
did
that far
we
over?
what
We've
did we
gone a little
learn
bit over.
tonight? Short people have short arms. That's what we learned.
Yes. Yes.
There's no and.
Short, okay, short people need a wider lens.
Short people need a wider lens.
Yes.
Well, why does that work? How does that work?
Okay, so if your arm it will only go out this far, right? Where's my camera?
Oh, I get what you're saying. You're doing
Okay.
it reverse
Okay.
for yes, okay.
But if somebody is 6'4", their arm will go out this far. Okay.
All right. All joking aside, what you're saying is actually true because that's probably why I love this 11 millimeter lens so much. Is
Yes.
because anything stronger, like Randy, have you seen how tall Randy is? Well, have you ever seen him stand next to me? It's I have to look way up there.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And he's going like this 28 millimeter lens is just right. And I'm going like, what you talking about? I'd have to have two arms to get a 28 millimeter lens to get my face in the picture. This
Yeah.
11 millimeter lens, I can actually be comfortable with it. And it's
Right.
lo and behold, it's a miracle, you
Yeah.
know?
In a with a 28, all you would see in the picture is this. That's it. And it'd be so close up.
It's my
But on
nose,
somebody, yeah,
my
but on
my
somebody
red pimple.
taller, it
Yeah.
it goes
Well, Randy
so
is like he's twice as tall as me. So if I'm 5'4", he's 10'8".
well, and his arm is probably a good foot longer than your arm.
Maybe.
So it makes a big difference. Yeah.
Well, when he came to visit me, he came in carrying 300 bags on one arm. So
Randy, we're talking about you. Sorry, buddy.
he
Yeah.
fell asleep. He had his frappe mocha and he's I don't know if he snores or not. Randy, do you snore when you sleep? Wake up.
He's out. He
He's
took
out.
some pain
He's out
medicine
like a
for
light.
his back and he's out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot the pain in the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why he
So
would try to lift an 85-pound mower? You tilt the box up and you just
I would
let
do the
it flop
same
out of the
thing.
box. You'd pick it
Yeah,
up.
but I would probably try to. Well, he picked it up to put it in his car. And so, you pick it up and then you twist to put it in the car. And I think that's when it got him. And then when he
I
got
don't think
home,
you
he
people are
unloaded
not
it.
old enough. Yeah, you people are just not old enough. You have them put it in the car for you. That's why they work there. Okay. And then when you
Well,
get home, you let it flop out of the box, out of the car onto the floor. It's still under the warranty. If it breaks, oops.
well,
So
I will say that I am playing the old lady card more
good for you.
because I now realize that even though there's a 38-year-old looking out at you, what you are seeing is an old lady. So I'm playing that more once I had that realization that what you see is not what I see looking out. So, how old do you feel, Peter?
What
What's your
day?
soul age?
I would say I probably feel about 55.
Okay.
However, my body doesn't cooperate with anything a 55-year-old body would do. Like the roof will leak.
Yeah.
Years ago, I would run up there and fix the leak.
Right.
Now after two, just two things on the ladder, I turn around and go back down. And the
No,
reason
no,
for that is not because I'm not willing to challenge myself. I don't want to wind up in the hospital, honestly. I mean, I stopped joking for a second right now, but that is really the honest truth. I better not hurt myself because at my age, you start to pay attention to how many times a person has fallen down, broken a
right?
hip, and died within a year.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not going to fall down and break a hip. Okay. It's just, if I have to walk
Well,
around with a pillow around my butt, I'm going to do it.
you you have to keep moving or you
What?
lose it.
I
So
can't hear you.
years,
Speak up. Speak up.
yeah, that's one of those things where you have to keep. I think
Yeah.
with hearing though, you'd have to get a hearing aid. But years ago, a good friend's father, that was his motto: just got to keep moving.
Yeah.
And he lived to be 95 and was still doing a fun run. So he wasn't running; he was pushing his walker and walking.
You know,
But he finished it.
these people that get on YouTube and they
Hmm.
have advice to give you about everything and things they don't even you're sure they don't even know about, okay?
Right.
But one person I was listening to the other day, this stayed in my mind and I'm going to have to rebuke that thought, but he said death starts in the legs. And the way I'm walking lately, not a good not a good thing, okay? So I got a doctor's appointment for May 9th.
Oh,
Let's see
good.
if let's see if I get taken. Okay,
That's on a Friday, like 2 weeks from now.
it's 2 weeks from this. No, 1 week from this coming Friday. Today is Wednesday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Okay,
Tuesday.
so one this Friday,
A
not
week
that
from
one.
Friday.
The
Yes.
next Friday, that's when I have a doctor's appointment, and it's only because the closest appointment's in June.
Right.
It's only because I played the sad card with the nurse that was writing it down. I just got to go see him. I've been limping around for a month now, you know.
Right.
So,
I think it's been longer than a month.
is it longer?
I
Well,
think
it has
so.
been getting a little bit better, but you know what the real problem is? I'm developing habits that are not good habits for walking. Remember you said that I look like I shuffle or
Hmm.
I don't remember the word that you used. Well, if you
Shuffle is
thought I
it.
shuffled then, you ought to see what I do now. Okay?
Yeah, that was a
Uh
couple of years ago too.
yeah. Now
So,
now I walk you know.
so we won't
And
do any
that's because
walking videos.
no, well, if I
Mm.
do, we got image tape, we got gyro flow.
There you go. There you go. Jeff, I think, is heading to bed. I will say night. It's been a great show with you and Peter. Really enjoyed it. Stay safe, and as always, stay awesome. Catch you next week. Good night, Jeff. So glad you came in, bud.
Mm,
I'm so happy to see everybody every week. It just kind of lets me know y'all are doing good, and we can share thoughts and ideas. And if you guys get anything that like Randy got a new mower. Well, it would be kind of hard for him to show the mower, but we could
he
make it
did.
happen.
He did.
I mean, on the show.
Oh,
So, and Carlos says, death starts in the mind, Peter. It's all in your mind.
it's all in my mind.
Yeah, mind.
I had somebody tell me the other day, Peter, the problem with you is you're too tense. I said, "What?" He says, "You're just too tense." I said, "I didn't realize I was that tense." And they said, "Yeah, your mind is about two tenths the size of a normal mind."
And look who snuck in here at the very last.
Let me
Shane.
guess.
Hey, hey.
Oh, I didn't think it would be Shane. How you
Shane.
doing, Shane?
Yeah, who'd
Boy,
you think it would be?
I thought it would be Mark M&M photography. He
I
always
don't
comes
think
the last minute every time.
I don't think Mark has ever come in here.
Oh, I didn't
I
think of that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he did. Has. But anyway, Shane, glad to have you, bud. We are getting ready to go off
And
the
last
air,
week's
but
show was I've got more compliments on last week's show
yeah,
at
yeah.
at how wonderful you were. You seem normal to me, but apparently you were wonderful. Well, maybe compared to the rest of us, you were very wonderful.
Right? Um, Carlos is saying hey to Shane. Hope all is well, brother. Yep. We got our Aussie boys in here tonight. I haven't seen Roy.
Actually, I haven't seen Roy for a week or so now.
Yeah,
We
just
better,
about.
yeah,
Yeah.
we better check up on him and see what's going on.
Yeah. But guys, I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'm gonna go eat some dinner myself, Lewis, and probably plop myself in front of the television. And so Friday and Saturday, I'm having a huge garage sale. Huge
Oh,
garage sale. I hope I
good
make it
pricing.
through it. Um, I don't know. You don't know until somebody buys it if it's a good price or not. So we'll find out.
Why don't
My
you set up a live camera and let us watch your garage sale?
It's a 2-day event that goes
Well,
on
it
for
might be a
like
little long.
it's from 8 to 3 Friday and Saturday. So, um, I'm I don't know. I might record some of it if there's something to record. I'll have my cameras with me, but yeah, you just never know. We'll see. We'll see. But hopefully, we'll get rid of a lot of stuff and make some money. Maybe.
Uh,
We'll see.
God be with you and bless you and
Yeah.
prosperity and all that good stuff. We all pray
Yeah.
for you.
Shane says hi to Carlos. Thanks, mate. You too. So, Shane, really enjoyed seeing you last Friday on Peter's show. So, you need to pop in. I know it's afternoon where you are, like Wednesday afternoon, but um, yeah, it was fun seeing you the other night. So,
And
guys,
like I say, even for this show, you don't have to pop in and stay for the whole show, you know. You
yeah,
could
you
pop
can pop in
in,
and out.
stay for a while, and if you got to go, you got to go. Like that's the way it is, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think we're gonna this. It seems to be working, and everybody seems to be enjoying it. So, I think we're gonna keep doing this for a little bit. But so we'll see everybody next Tuesday, and everybody have a great weekend. Don't forget, all you guys in here, don't forget Mother's Day is coming up.
Oh yeah.
Even if your mother isn't around, you probably know a mother. Just saying.
S-
Okay.
Sly is a mother, and Sly has a birthday coming up too.
Yeah, yeah. So if you don't want to hit one, you can hit the other, you know.
Yeah, yeah. If you miss the first, if your target is off, you you'll hit the other one.
Well, this year it's the same day, so yeah.
Mother's Day
So
and your birthday is on
yeah,
Sunday,
it's on the
so
same day.
it's
Yeah.
not next Friday, but the Sunday after next Friday.
Yes. It's it's not on a Friday anyway, yeah. But anyway, y'all have a great week. I will probably see you Friday. Well, I don't know. After garage sailing all day, I may be asleep by 9 o'clock, but if I'm awake,
Advil, Advil,
lots of it.
Advil.
Yes, because all my stuff is big and heavy, and I've got like a double oven, and I'm gonna be moving it all by myself.
Oh
So
boy.
yeah. So Advil, you're right. Lots of Advil and some of that, what they call it, biofreeze is my
That I
friend.
don't have. That I don't have.
Oh, yeah, it works well. But I will see you all next Tuesday. So thanks for coming, everybody. Peter, thanks for coming on with me. And I will try to see you Friday. Good night, everybody.